So far, so good. What?
Yes.
I can tell.
Okay, so how much green is there left in the world now?
Not much. That valley where we find Clark at the end of season 4 is it. And the people on that ship are going to want it. The people in the bunker, when they get out, are going to want it. It's going to be a battle for Eden.
So, just to follow up, is that going to be kind of like the underlining theme of this new season, where like previous season was like survival, nature, or man versus kind of experimentation?
Yeah.
So is like the war for what's left going to be the theme of this season?
That's one of. I'd say that's probably the A story plot of the season. The theme that we're sort of circling often is this idea of rebirth, second chances. Clark has a child that changes you. Her perspective is all shifted. The Earth is regenerating itself slowly but surely. That's what the valley that happens to have missed the destruction of the rest of the planet, luckily, sort of represents. So the theme of the season, on some level, and we'll, I'm sure, figure out a way to like make it darker than this, but rebirth.
So have they finally learned to live together in the bunker?
Yes, maybe. No. It's going to be difficult. Listen, happily ever after is not easy. So they all made it to the bunker. Octavia saved them all, obviously, or the 100 from each clan that was selected. And they now have to live together under there, which is not easy. There's not enough resources. There's not enough space. 5 years would have probably been doable, but obviously we know at the end of the season that they're still under there, and it's been 6 years. So you can imagine that the psychology changes when they realize that door isn't there.
So obviously there's going to be a lot of flashbacks this season. How do you balance?
There is some.
No, this is a good question.
It is.
So how do you balance progressing the story forward in season 5 with all the flashbacks?
It is a good question. It's also tricky when you do a time jump. It's not like the time period that we skipped over is boring, right? Like the stuff that we missed was the bunker coming together, how one crew, what made it or didn't make it. Obviously, survival on the ring is exciting and interesting, and Clark's journey on the ground by herself is cool too. So we will see some of it. Most of the season will be told going forward because it defeats the purpose of the time jump, I think, to like really live in that flashback world. But we will early on in the season unwind and show Clark, as the last person on the world and on the Earth, and wandering aimlessly through the wasteland and finding Maddie and how that changes her. That'll be a story that we tell. Probably giving away too much now, but definitely we'll go back and tell that bunker story too. But we won't live that much in that.
Is the correct assumption that Maddie's going to be a Nightblood, and is that going to impact her?
Did we get that away? Yeah, she calls her my little Nightblood, I think, in the last scene. So yes, Maddie is a Nightblood. I can say that. A legit Nightblood, natural born.
With the new group coming down and his perspective already shifting because of Maddie, do you think we're going to see her rethinking some of her decisions? Because now she's kind of the grounder to this new group coming down.
I think that's a really great question. One of the things that was so exciting to me when we started to think about this new idea, this new group coming down, is that we have flipped the narrative, right? Suddenly, they're the 100 that are landing, and they're prisoners. They're legitimately criminals in many cases. Unlike the people that got arrested on the Ark for stealing food for whatever. And yes, we are now the grounders. Clark is now in the position of Lincoln in the woods, sort of watching these people come down. I think the evolution of Clark over the last couple of seasons has been that already. Like she's already come to see, a more holistic view of the grounders and of clans and of people in general. But yeah, for sure now she is. The line in the premiere almost directly mirrors the line, her last line from the pilot.
Can you describe the footage you're going to show right now?
Well, we haven't shot anything yet. We haven't started shooting. So we start production mid-August, but I did create a sizzle reel, which is a different kind of thing. We haven't seen I created a couple new VisFX shots, so those are interesting. I wish that we had more time to make them perfect. And we'll hear the voice of a new character narrated. So yeah.
Thank you guys.